One of these days, everyone's going to sit in the same area of the sanctuary, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Can we get the doors closed? Maybe that'll make the people out in the hallway know it's time to come in. So it is wonderful to see all of you back this evening. I know I am thankful to be back as well. You'll hear a little bit more about that at the beginning of my sermon. But I recognized tonight, or this morning actually, that it's been a long time since I made people in the congregation cry. So I received this text message from my cantor in Cincinnati, who has installed me at my two previous congregations. And it's in Hebrew, but it does have subtitles, so you'll be able to read the English. And I thought, let's start off with a nice, good cry. And now, we'll continue our service with words of good tidings, things that have happened in the past since we've been together, which has been 3 weeks now. Birthdays, anniversaries, other good moments in your life that you'd like to share with our congregation. Yes, Bruce. Well, we're excited that you're back, and thank God you're both healthy. Yes, I see you, that straw cowboy man in the back. Wow. Yes, we all know how much it's out of. 1,600, that's like, wow. So he can pretty much go wherever he wants to school, right? Yeah. Well, mazal tov to them. Yes, Di.
Our daughter came to visit the Chicago suburbs, and we had a wonderful time.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is she still with us, or is she back in Chicago? Back in Chicago? Back where it's cold. Judy.
Well, first the bad news. The bad news was that in 2023, my daughter had 3 miscarriages.
Hmm.
The good news is she is now in her 18th week of pregnancy, and it's going to be good because everything is testing well.
So in Judaism, we don't say mazal tov when someone's pregnant because we don't want to tempt the evil eye, especially with what you just told us about 2023. We do say b'sha'a tova, which means all in good time, or as it's meant to happen, as it's going to happen. So much health and much nachas to you and your daughter. Yes, Stan.
15th January, I'll be 86.
86. See, I thought you were only like 75. Well, happy early birthday. Julie, did you have your hand raised?
Yes, I did. My last pregnancy turned 23.
Happy birthday to Emily.
Not caboose, it's 23. The caboose.
Leave it to Julie to make us think about it. Yes, Bacha.
So we went to Houston to see my mom. She's doing great. And she turned 84 while we were there.
So maybe, Stan, you can have a girlfriend.
And your dad turned 81.
2? 1941. 82. This is 2023. He was born in 41. So he's 81 or 82. Dad, if you're watching, I'm really sorry. Actually, you know what? He was born in 1942, so he is 81. He is 81. Anybody else? Yes. And how old will he be? You know, I don't have my cell phone, so I can't open up the RMS to tell me what year he was born. Very wise. Yes, Joan.
I had this last week, my grandson and my daughter Ruth here from Arizona, and we had a grand time.
Wonderful, wonderful. And they were so nice to wait to leave till I got back so I could meet them. Wonderful. Any other? Yes, Mildred? Yes, so if when you hear me list the IDF names and a little bit later, you will not hear Zachary Olstein's name, because he's back home. That's wonderful news. Anybody else? Okay, I'd like to invite Susan Ahern and Debbie Johnson to light our Shabbat candles. And we are on page 2 in our prayer books.
And I would just like to add to the happy news that I asked Debbie to join me to light candles tonight because a few weeks ago we were going to have an oneg in her honor, 'cause, she completed her conversion journey, and just so proud of her. And she did not get the opportunity to light candles or do the kiddush or do the motzi. So tonight we're doing it together. Okay, you light the candles.
Well, they worked the first time. Shechianu.
You're special. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
We continue on page 8 in our prayer books. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We continue singing page 13. The first line in the Hebrew on the last paragraph. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Page 16, let's read together in English. Sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song. With trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout before Adonai the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. We continue singing Lechadodi, page 21. Please turn to page 26. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah B'alma divrach nirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Yisrael Ba'agala, ba'agala, damizan kariv, v'meru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam u'olmei omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudesha brechu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, V'meru, amen. We continue with the Baruch Hu, page 28. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 147. Yeah, we're moving to a different part of the prayer book. Shabbat evening 2. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim uvidvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmarotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla umavdil bein yom uvein layla Adonai tziva'ot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Page 148, Ahavat Olam.
Day and night, show us the way, teaching us to number our days. When we rise and when we lie down, Ahavat
Please rise for the Shema, page 149. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue chanting Ve'ahavta, page 150. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot bein einecha uktavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. We read responsively on page 151. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot osefele Nora tehilot osefele Malachutecha ra'uvanecha Bokei yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze Elianu ve'amru Ze Elianu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Ya la 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 Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Pretty soon people are just going to just walk into the congregation just clapping, and we'll just clap the whole service. Bottom of page 153, sing with me. Baruch atah Ata Adonai hapurei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai hapurei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Please sing with me V'shamru, top of page 154. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Please rise for the Amidah, page 155. Adonai sefaitai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'ad Shmo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem. Mechalkel chaim bechesed. Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. So mech noflim verofei cholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato. Lishenei afar. Michamocha bal givurot. Melach. Melech meimi tu mecha. Le'eman atala chayotak. Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh. Ukedoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. I didn't hear you, but those that said bless you while I was having my sneezing fit, thank you. Just so you know, the reason why we say bless you is not because we expect a blessing, but because if you don't know this or not, when you sneeze, your heart stops for about half a second. So we're blessing you for the fact that you didn't die. So when you sneeze like 4 times in a row, it can be a little scary because that's a lot of times for your heart to stop beating. But at least that's the wives' tale that my parents told me. If it's true or not, I'm almost 48 and I've always believed it, so let's just say it's true. Let's continue on page 160. Let's read this together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 161. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael, utefilatam be'ahava tikabel, utehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. El karov lechol kro'av pnei el avadecha v'chanenu shfoch ruchacha aleinu. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letavo, amen. Ufokdenu vo livracha, amen. V'hoshienu vo lechayim, amen. Our God and God of our fathers and our mothers, be truly mindful of us and all your people Israel on this day, and renew in us love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day remember us for well-being. Amen. This day bless us with your nearness. Amen. This day help us to a fuller life. Amen. We continue with the singing of Ritzei. Not with the singing of Ritzei. With the singing of Shalom Rav on page 164.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech
Kay looked at me and said, "Are you sick?" I said, no, just allergies. And she said, "Welcome home." But I will tell you that the allergies were bad in Houston too. It's the change of season. And, you know, it used to be, for those of you that have allergies like me, seasonal allergies meant once or twice, maybe 3 times a year. When the seasons change, your allergies would go crazy. But now with the effect of El Nino on the West Coast and everything else that's going on with the weather and this and that, it's like the season changes every other week. So I can't say it's seasonal allergies anymore. It's just allergies. I'm allergic to the world. None of you, just outside, just the outside world. We continue on page 165. Let's read this together, the English. My God, keep my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking guile. To those who revile me, let my soul be silent. My soul shall be to all as dust. Open my heart to your Torah. Let my soul hasten to do your commandments. Let the words of my mouth and my heart's meditation acceptable in your presence, O God, my rock and my redeemer. We sing Oseh Shalom, page 167. Oseh Shalom, Bimroma, Vuyaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru, Amen. We take a moment now for our own silent thoughts and prayers. We turn to page 253 in our prayer books. And in our prayers for healing this Shabbat, we consider the names of those who are still fighting in the IDF, just for the right to exist on earth. Ido Reuven, Yosef Shlomo Yishai, Yotam Amichai ben Rochel Tamar, David Maimon, Aviv Daniel, David Lekach, Avi Prager, Daniel Kaufman, Hanan Zanger, Tom Heffer, Yuval Zanger, Itamar Golan, Hadar Kirsch, Gal Cohen, Hezi Gilboa, Asher Katz, Roy Neer, Erez Eshel, Nadav Yakir, Uri Schneider, Roy Ashkenazi, Matan Pedro, Omer Nutra, taken hostage, David Singer, David Avidan, Shai Shupak, Dahlia Heffer. And along with those soldiers' names, we consider those in our community who are in need of healing: Paul Abernathy, Michael Brody, Stephen Solomon. And I received a phone call today from Harriet Brinker, whose husband is 90 years old and is in the hospital, but is doing much better and is probably going to be going home tomorrow or the next day. But she asked specifically that we say a special prayer for him because she believes that the prayers actually work. That they worked for her the last time, and she's hoping they'll continue to work for her today. So if there's another name of a soldier that is fighting in the Israeli forces or someone that you would like to add to our prayers of Mishaberach, please raise your hand. we join together on page 253 as we sing the words of Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Let me begin my sermon this evening by thanking each and every one of you. It's okay, guys. Go ahead. You can leave now. It's my kids, guys. I know. It's a mass exodus of the children. Go ahead. Thank you. It's the first time I've ever called out my children for leaving the sermon. It won't be the last. So back to my sermon. My family and I are so blessed, and we feel so welcome here, except for maybe our children right now. Our time away, while enjoyable and relaxing, helped to reinforce what we already know, that this is our home and you are our family. I hope everyone had a safe and happy secular New Year. The secular New Year brings a lot of joy, but also a bit of confusion. After all, we have just 3 months or so earlier lived through the Jewish New Year, a time for renewal and rebirth. So when we come to the secular New Year, what do we all do? We make resolutions. We make resolutions. For me, although I have always made resolutions, I have recently begun to think about what that means. Shall we make temporary resolutions for change at Rosh Hashanah and then renew them on January 1st? What I've come to determine is that I make resolutions for my Jewish life on Rosh Hashanah. Maybe I'll try to pray with more intention this year. Or maybe I'll begin to read the daily page of Talmud every day. But for the secular New Year, I make resolutions about the non-Jewish part of my life. What I've realized, however, is that both of these worlds are intertwined. For as long as I can remember, there has been some sort of new Go Green initiative or something similar to it. This is certainly a great idea, and I'm very much in support of it. But it is also a Jewish resolution, Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. If we truly make decisions to help our communities, the Jewish community, and the greater non-Jewish community, we are making resolutions that cross boundaries. After all, community, kehila, is a tremendous idea in Judaism. We are all striving to live as a kehila kadosha, a holy community. Excuse me. This week we begin a new book of the Hebrew Bible, Shmot, or Exodus. This Torah portion, the first portion of Exodus named Shmot, is chock full of references to community. Verse 8 reads, "A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph." We all know what happens next. The Pharaoh begins to bitterly oppress the Israelites, creating boundaries between the community of the Israelites and the community of the Egyptians. The Pharaoh did not account, however, for the miracles of God, who had devised a plan for Moses the eventual leader of the Israelites, to actually leave one community, the Israelites, and join the other, bless you, the Egyptians. But we'll get back to the Israelite community in just a few minutes. Let me share with you one of my personal stories of community. As you may know, if you've been in my office, I was the chaplain for the Wyoming City Fire Department while I was a rabbinic student in Cincinnati. While serving as the chaplain, I received a message that a firefighter from a nearby department had died at 30 years old of cancer. Our assistant chief wanted to make sure that there was representation from our department at his funeral. Being a chaplain and having never attended a firefighter's funeral before, I believe that this was an opportunity for a new experience. While I was listening to the Catholic priest speak at the funeral ceremony in the church, I was almost brought to tears more than once. The priest spoke with such clarity and such warmth regarding the life of this firefighter. What was astonishing to me at that time was that I could imagine myself saying many of the same things during a Jewish funeral, with the exception of a few things. He spoke of the two most important commandments: love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, suggesting that the rest of the commandments came from those two basic commandments. I have taught this so many times. How many sermons have I given already here about the most important and hardest commandment, to love your neighbor as yourself? The Catholic priest then taught that Jesus combined the two commandments, preaching that loving your neighbor is most important. Jesus, according to the Catholic priest, taught that loving your neighbor was like loving God, as all of us are God-like. Amazing. I had been, and to this day am still teaching that same sentiment. Not the Jesus part, the other part. I've always known that Judaism and Christianity, especially Catholicism, have a lot in common. Sitting in that funeral for a Catholic firefighter just reconfirmed that. Of course, we have striking differences, but I choose to focus on what we had in common, relating that a life of love for God and of righteous living rises above religious boundaries. After the church funeral was over, we proceeded to the cemetery, a 3.5-block long processional with about 25 fire engines and fire trucks, along with the family and the friends riding in their cars. Riding in my Class A uniform in the front of the fire engine was remarkable. When we arrived at the cemetery, we stood at attention in the snow and sleet for about 30 minutes until the graveside service was over. In the Jewish community, we speak of Kehila Kadosha. That was a Kehila Kadosha, just like our very own Kehila Kadosha here in Ocala. As a Jewish community, we trace our history all the way back to Abraham. When we think of those leaders that have had a profound impact on us as a community, Moses is often the one that comes to mind first. When God first spoke to Moses and asked Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses refused, asking God to choose a different leader. Could you imagine today someone refusing to be the leader? No comment. God stuck with Moses, and eventually Moses was instructed to teach our community how to be a Kehila Kadosha. In this week's Parsha, when Moses first attempts to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, the Pharaoh actually bears down on the Israelites, telling Moses, "Who is this Lord that I should heed him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, nor will I let Israel go." Once again, Moses returns to God, asking God to choose someone else to be God's agent, the speaker, for God. It is at the end of this portion that we are forewarned of the great miracles that will soon occur when the plagues descend upon Egypt. These miracles lay the groundwork for what will eventually, at the end of the Torah, be one of the greatest and saddest funerals of our existence. When Moses died, the people of Israel moaned and mourned for 30 days at the steppes of Moab, where Moses was buried. In this week's Torah portion, we see a very humble beginning for Moses. He refuses, then begrudgingly accepts the responsibility of leading. And when he first speaks to Pharaoh, the people resent him for making their lives harder, as Pharaoh made their work harder. When I sat in the church during Chris's funeral, I heard eulogies that spoke of him as a great man, a great helper to all of those around him. He was quick to make a person laugh, and the first in a fire when someone was in need of help. Like Moses, he was charged with taking care of those in his community. I did not know Chris, so I do not mean to suggest that he and Moses were equal. Chas v'shalom. After all, we are told at the end of the Torah that never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses. However, what I am suggesting is that each of us, every one of us in our communities, has the ability to live a righteous life, renewing ourselves every year, twice. May we all live lives of value and importance, clinging to those characteristics of Moses and those that came before them. May we always remember we are a Kahila Kadosha and live our lives with this memory. Amen. We return in our prayer books to page 282. Can we get a mass exodus in? Mass entrance? What's the opposite of exodus? Entrance is not formal enough. Say what? Incidus? Exodus? Incidus? I don't think so. Come on up, Ben. Please turn to page 282 and rise for Aleinu. Hey, Robert, do you see the shirt that my son is wearing? I believe it belongs to one of your children at some point. Go ahead. Push open. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asani kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu Kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. 287. V'nemar, v'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yihye Adonai echad, ushemo echad. Thank you, guys. Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost. the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, our congregation remembers the death anniversaries, the yahrzeits of Albert Colon, uncle of Ken Colon, Ruth Dittman, Cosmos Sharangos, father of Gail Sharangos, Hannah Sherman, mother of Dale Silver, Catherine Sigler, mother of Jules Sigler, Ronald Pally, husband of Serena Handelman, Esther Gorin, mother of Edward Gorin, Harry Heyman, grandfather of Melissa Yarger, Simon Milberg, grandfather of Marty McLean, Louis Simmons, father of Jackie Kokut, Seymour Zalesnik, father of Chuck Zalesnik, Sigmund Falk, Bruce Richter, husband of Elaine Richter, Samuel Schreiber, father of Marvin Schreiber, Shirley Schwimmer, mother of Ted Schwimmer, Naomi Stein, friend of Wayne and Raylyn O'Mell, Thelma Weiss, mother of Hillary Zalesnik, Meyer Diamond, father of Diana Lawrence, Helen Bernstein, mother of Barbara Gorin, Miriam Ruth Taub, mother of Alan Taub, and we are in Shloshim for George Kaufman, partner of Naomi Berman. If there is another name that you'd like to add in our prayers of memory this evening, please raise your hand. We rise together as a community and recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dichol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Olamei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei Kedusha Brichu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata ta'miran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing as we say together. Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to now invite our president, Kay Fleischaker, for some announcements.
Thank you, and welcome home, Rabbi and family. Some announcements, of course. We need someone for Interfaith for February. Betsy is here. Please, it's such a worthwhile event. First Wednesday of every month you go and you get to feed the people at Interfaith. See her if you're interested. We did a great job. We had a food drive for 2 weeks. We raised 376 pounds of food I took to Interfaith. A few reminders. A week from tomorrow, we have the Ocala Tree of Life dance. We were selling tickets before the service. We will be selling them again next week, and you can buy them during the week from Vanessa. Also on the 15th, there is Martin Luther King March, and we should participate. It's about a mile walk. You park at a park, and they bus you into the town square, and you walk the mile to the park. So if you're able, I hope you will attend. Also, it was not in the announcements. Next Saturday is also our monthly Saturday service. So please, it is on if we forgot to get it in the announcements. On February 4th, it is our second annual fashion show and tea. It was a huge event last year. We hope it will be bigger this year. We were selling tickets before services, and we will be selling them before services for the next few weeks. They're $20. We're looking for someone to be an assistant treasurer with Janet Kreisman. Janet is fine, but she wants to do traveling and would like someone to cover why she travels every now and then. It's not full-time, but just to cover when she's out of town. Speaking of traveling, the rabbi and Bacha are going in November to Israel. If you're interested, please see them. They're going November 6th through 16th. Tonight, the Onik is sponsored by Susan and Michael Ahern in honor of Susan's birthday. Flowers are sponsored by Debbie Johnson in honor of Susan Ahern's birthday, Susan Ahern in honor of her birthday, Di Michelson in honor of Harley's birthday, Michael Ahern in honor of Susan's birthday, Mark and Julie Rockland in honor of Emily's birthday, Eli Rockland in honor of Emily's birthday, and Lorraine Posner in honor of Fred's birthday. Lots of birthdays.
Each of them paid for one pedal.
I said, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I want to make a plug for something, not the Israel trip, although I could make that plug too. So on Wednesdays at 1:30 until 3, every Wednesday, there is an adult Torah study class. Adult meaning it's for adults, not like we're doing, weird things. Don't get any wrong ideas. And we've done a whole bunch of things. Before I got here, they did a study of the book of Joshua, I believe. Whole bunch of prophets. I think they did Joshua. I think that was one of the prophets that did. Since I've been here, we were doing Torah, and then we were doing Psalms. Well, this semester, someone brought up a really great idea, thank you, Rochelle, to study great Jewish thinkers. So starting this coming Wednesday, we're going to be looking at some of the greatest Jewish philosophers going back to the first one, Saadia Gaon, back around 900 CE. And this is a great class. Usually have about, well, depending on the day, we have between 10 to 20 people that show up. And we do a lot of talking and some learning, some arguing, never me. But it's interfaith. We have members of the church that come as well. So it would be a really great opportunity if you'd like to learn some more about Judaism, you're interested. And this is not going to be like a rabbinic class. This is going to be a class for people who are looking to learn new things. So it's not going to be an elementary level class either. It's an adult class. I mean, we're talking about people who are well educated in other areas. So we're going to be speaking about some really good things and learning some really good things. So please join us Wednesdays at 1:30. You don't have to RSVP. You can just come. And for those of you that work during the day who have been asking me, I know, Julie, who have been asking me for a class in another day or at night, it's coming. I promise. We will have some other classes available in the future. I would like to now invite Dale and Raul to sing our closing song this Shabbat. It's called A New Year by Michael Oakes.
May this be a year of love and kindness. May strangers come to be friends. May truth and compassion always guide us. Amen. May this be a year of hope and healing for all of those in need. May all of our deeds be a blessing. Amen. A new year, a good year, a chance to start all over. A new year, a sweet year, a chance to bring us closer. May this be a year of selfless giving. May this be a year of peace. And may we forgive and be forgiven. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to Jay and to Susan and to Dale and to Raul for the help with the music this evening, and to Susan and Debbie for the candles and also for Kiddush and Motzi. Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you in the social hall.